ladies and gentlemen, homelessness continues to be a huge problem. And we know this was a huge problem long before COVID, but in the day and age of COVID, it is getting worse. So, none is the fault of the person, especially if they became jobless due to COVID. That's why I don't try to get on the self righteous horse when it comes down to these sort of things, because you just don't know what a person is dealing with. So this is NPR, March 30th, 2021, evicted and homeless due to pandemic. I literally had to sleep in my car. And this is happening to so many people across this country. Millions. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio from NPR.
More than 8 million American households are behind on their rent, and a federal order protecting renters from eviction was set to expire tomorrow. Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has extended those protections for 3 more months through the end of June. Still, thousands of people have already been evicted, either before the CDC order went into effect or because landlords used loopholes to get around it. That's left many people struggling to find a place to live. NPR's Chris Arnold has one man's story.
Getting evicted can hurt you in a bunch of different ways. And you don't have to tell that to 57-year-old Gregory Curry in Dothan, Alabama.
I'll be honest with you. I was petrified by this situation. What I've had to go through over this last year.
Curry fell behind on rent after the furniture store where he was a salesman shut down due to COVID. His landlord filed an eviction case against him back over the summer. Curry had nowhere to go, but there was no federal eviction moratorium in place at the time, and the judge ordered him to leave.
They told me I had to be out. Now, mind you, I had 5 rooms of furniture because I had an upstairs, downstairs duplex.
Curry says he'd never been evicted before, and he really didn't know what to do next. He got a storage unit, and he had a friend with a truck come help him the day that he had to leave. But while they moved a load of stuff to storage, he says the landlord quickly changed the locks and just tossed the rest of his things outside.
They had come in there and threw them out on the road. I was devastated, and the neighbors were literally coming by and taking my things.
Curry's landlord, a company called D-Ream Properties, did not respond to NPR's request for an interview. Court records show that the landlord added legal fees for the eviction and other charges on top of what he owed in rent. And when the furniture store reopened and Curry started working again...
I'm at work. In comes the sheriff, and he says, are you Gregory Curry? And I said, yeah, I am. And he looks at me and he said, well, I got a letter for you. And it was a garnishment.
That's a wage garnishment. In other words, Curry says his landlord started seizing 25% of his wages. And now with an eviction on his record, he ran into a cold, hard truth of getting evicted. When you look for a new place to live, many landlords check the court records, or at least ask if you've ever been evicted. And if they're looking at 2 people, one with an eviction and the other not, for many that makes the decision pretty easy. So for more than 7 months now, Curry hasn't had a home. That's even though he's had a job. He stayed at long-term stay hotels when he's had enough money to do that.
I literally had to sleep in my car simply because of the fact that, what I'm paying here at these extended stay hotels is actually more than what I was paying for rent and utilities. So when you've maxed out all your, what couple of credit cards you have, and then you can't even borrow money, because everything is just falling apart all at the same time. I mean, the emotional toll has been more than the actual financial toll.
Meanwhile, Curry's been driving 30 miles every other day to make sure his mom's okay at a nursing home. And he's still just kind of mystified by everything that's happened. If there's a safety net, Curry seems to have fallen through it.
This is outrageous that this is going on in the United States of America.
Rochelle Gretchen is a legal aid attorney in Alabama, where Gregory Curry lives. She says she's seen a lot of people in his situation during the pandemic and before. You get evicted and nobody will rent you another place.
It's tough. And even if we have clients where we can get the eviction dismissed or they come to some sort of a settlement agreement, the court records will show that an eviction was filed. So it shows up when future landlords are looking.
One bill in Congress introduced this month in the House would stop credit bureaus from putting evictions during the pandemic on people's credit reports. Gretchen says, too, when you're stuck unable to find another home, evictions can send people into a downward spiral.
A lot of times it snowballs. You might have trouble with making your car payment if you're having to make a weekly motel fee that's more, more than your rent. Then you might have trouble keeping your car. If you end up losing your car, your job's at risk.
Gregory Curry feels lucky that he hasn't lost his car and that he hasn't gotten COVID, even though evictions can raise the risk of that. And in just the past few days, his luck has changed in other ways too. After more than 7 months, a family member has helped him find a landlord who will finally rent him a place. And a homeless assistance group is giving him first and last month's rent so he can move in.
I'm very relieved right now because this has been quite a road.
We reached him on his cell phone as he was just starting to move stuff into his new place.
I'm just grateful to be able to have recovered from this. I'm a pretty strong guy, but this was a really rough situation.
Curry was hesitant.
Yeah, and that's the case with many people, y'all. What I said before is this country should have done something for landlords. If they would have given money to landlords, then it wouldn't have been any need to throw people onto the streets. So I definitely understand both sides. Homelessness is one of those things, even as a child, I used to hate seeing, especially our people just wandering out on the streets and they have nowhere to go and don't have a home. I guess I come under the guise, I just believe everybody should have a roof over their head, and this country should have a safety net in place for people that fall down on their luck. So many don't have to be on the streets. But it's one of them things America has been very unconcerned about in my lifetime. In fact, they get mad if you're poor. I mean, how many times have we heard them talk about people being poor? Who set up this society? Who made it this way? We don't run things. Somebody set it up this way to be this evil, where you hate someone because they don't have money, but you glorify some devil with money that got it from slavery. We're supposed to look upon that as some great thing. So that's how this society works, and America, you are in a downward spiral. You can keep trying to put on a happy face and act like all is good because you got the vaccine, and you're going to quickly see it's not that way at all. COVID is going up in the majority of the country right now with your vaccine out there, with it out there. It is going to be a deadly, deadly surge that you're looking at. Your vaccine is not going to stop this surge coming. It's already here. If the majority of the states are telling you they got COVID going up in their states, is going up here in my state, then you are not beating the battle with your vaccine. But see, summer is on the horizon now. In America, you are about to get your ass handed to you big time. Trust me on this one. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.